Hello, good morning class. Today we will see company's orientation toward marketplace, and there are total 8 orientation in your syllabus. The first orientation is production orientation, followed by product orientation, sales orientation, marketing orientation, societal, transactional, relation and holistic orientation towards marketplace. Now we will see each and every orientation one by one. Prior to production, there was exchange orientation towards marketplace. Exchange orientation means just exchanging by exchange between buyer and seller was taking place. That was exchange orientation. Now after exchange orientation, we will see the economy of scale, that is production orientation. Prior to this 1950s, the production orientation generally held true due to growing number of affluent and middle class people that capitalism has created. Says Lodge states that the production of commodities creates and is the one and universal cause that creates a market for commodities produced. The emphasis of the firms adopting a production orientation of the marketing would have been based on the theory of economy of scale, which are cost advantage that an enterprise obtain due to an expansion. In today's business world, it can be argued that customer desires, concern, and opinions rather than the industry profits are the driving forces behind many strategic business decisions. Build a better mousetrap and the world will beat a path to your door is a saying from a simple time when consumers did not have all the buying choices or communication channels that they have today. A company that adopts a better mousetrap business philosophy is said to be follow a production orientation. A company that follows a production orientation chooses to ignore their consumers' needs and focuses only on efficiently building a quality product. This type of a company believes that if they can make the best mousetrap, their customer will come to them. So naturally, there will be various inputs, various resources like machineries, manpower, materials, methods, and money. All these will be input. These all inputs will be processed and you will get final output. This final output can be a product or it can be a service. Now here the companies are not taking care of a customer as an important part. Why? Because this is a production orientation and they are not concerned about the customer's needs, want, demand. They are not focusing on customer satisfaction, etc. They are just focusing on economy of scale and they are only focusing on production. And whatever they are producing in the market, that will get sold. That is their philosophy. Now, this production orientation was there when there was less competition or no competition in the market. But soon there are many competitors in the market and the production orientation is shifted towards the next orientation that is called as product orientation. A firm employing a product orientation would assume that as long as its product was on high standard, that is high quality products, people would buy and consume the product. Under the product orientation, management focuses on developing high quality products which can be sold at the right price, but with insufficient attention to what it is that customer really need and want. The product orientation assumes a developing a closed economy where few, if any, choices are available. The product orientation of marketing focuses solely on the product of a company or the services offered by the companies intended to the sell. This orientation was popular during 1950s and 1960s. So, we can conclude in the following way that in the product orientation, rather than production or rather than economy of scale, now companies were thinking of a high quality product. Again, here they were not thinking about the customer's needs and customer's desire and customer satisfaction, but slightly development in research and development department, and R&D department is taking care of high quality products. So companies are focusing on products and quality of products and not on customers. This was the product orientation. Now, after this product orientation, the company's orientation now shifted from production to product to next orientation, and this orientation is called as sales orientation. Sales orientation means instead of economy of scale and instead of production and instead of product, now companies are focusing on selling the product. So, n number of selling aspects are developed from the companies. A sales orientation entails simply selling an already existing product and using various promotional techniques and innovative promotional techniques to attain the highest sell possible. Because as there were competitors in the market, now there are 4 to 5 competitors, suppose we are saying, then among the 4 to 5 competitors in the same market they are having rivalry. Now, to attract customers, they are appointing sales force, and this sales force is now will concentrate on selling the product and giving the information about this product or services to the ultimate consumers, that how their products and services are different from the other competitors. So such a modern day orientation may suit scenarios in which firms holds dead stock or otherwise sell a product that is in high demand with a little likelihood of changing the consumer's taste and would diminish the demand. Selling orientation of marketing become popular after the untapped demand following the World War II and saturated in 1950s when there was less demand from the market and production was heavy. So because of heavy production and less demand, it was the headache of the companies to sell those products, and to sell those products they need a sales team. When products were not selling as easily as they had been. As opposed to production and product orientation, sales orientation focuses primarily on selling and promotion of a particular product. So this is the important line. So initial point is existing production. Then existing production main focus was existing products, and major was through advertisement and promotional activities they are focusing. And what was their target? Their target was making profit through high revenues. So selling the products, existing products, and to get the high revenue was the sales orientation. Here also R&D and research and development was lesser, and customer orientation was giving a less focus. They were focusing on the production and product itself. Now this sales orientation is now is replaced by the marketing orientation in the new era. Now what is marketing orientation? In the beginning of 1970s, a marketing orientation business starts with the customer. In the previous orientation, we have seen the business will start with the company. So, company will produce the products, and those products will be forcefully sold or may be sold by some selling and negotiation, advertisement techniques, and promotional activities to the ultimate customers. But here, in marketing orientation, the businesses starts with the customers. They focuses out what customer exactly want, and then they are producing the products for the customers depending on customers' needs and wants. The marketing orientation also involves monitoring competitors' actions and their effects on customers' preferences, as well as analyzing the effect of the extraneous factors, various factors in the marketing environment. So the research and development team was very active, and now they have started collecting the information from the market, and from that information now they are producing products, relevant products and needed products for the customers. Marketing orientation is a business model that focuses on delivering products designed according to customer desires, customers' needs, and customers' requirements, in addition to the product functionality and product efficiency. So, no doubt they are making economy of scale, no doubt they are making good quality product, but these products are now as per the customer's desire, needs, and requirements. Beginning in the 1970s, Harvard professor Theolet Levitt and other academicians argued that the sales orientation model was ill equipped to deliver products tailored to consumers' wants and needs. Instead, the manufacturing products for the sole purpose of generating profits. They argued that businesses to shift their strategies towards developing products based on consumers' delights, insights, and opinions. So, using these consumers or customers' intelligence, companies could produce products that supported their overall business strategies, competed efficiently and effectively in increasing global and competitive markets, and delivered solutions for current and future needs of the customers. So, this marketing orientation, the initial point was the market. Their main focus was actual consumers' needs. Their major was the marketing approach, and their target was long term profit through customer satisfaction. Now, again, I will go back to the previous PPT and we will see what was the target in sales orientation. Sales orientation target was profit through high revenue, but here in marketing orientation, the target is long term profit, not only short term profit, but long term profit and through customer satisfaction. So, naturally, if customers are satisfied, then they will buy the products, they will be loyal to the customer, they will be loyal to the industries and the brands, and naturally, it will lead to a profit generation. Now, after marketing orientation, the next approach is now societal orientation. Marketing decisions. The societal marketing is a marketing concept that holds a company should make marketing decisions by considering consumers' wants, by companies' requirements as well as you have to focus on society's long-term interests. What do you understand by society's long-term interest? You have to produce, you have to manufacture such products and services that will help in society as a large. So eco-friendly products, e-products, and products which are not hazardous to the earth. Such type of products you have to produce. The societal marketing approach or the concepts holds that the organization's task is to determine needs, wants, and interests of a target market and to deliver the desired satisfaction more effectively and efficiently than competitors in a way that preserves and enhance the consumers and society's well-being as well. So marketing orientation and societal orientation, you can say, are similar, but in societal orientation you have to take care of a society as a large. Therefore marketers must endeavors to satisfy the needs and wants of their target market in such a way that they preserve and enhance the well-being of the consumers and the society as a whole. The society, the social responsibility implies that a business decision maker is obliged to take actions and also protect and enhance society's interest. Now, business has the responsibility to help the consumers, but it is duty of a business to promote and proper the consumption values. Business leaders are mandated to adopt rules of a leadership in advancement of their society to a new level of a moral conduct. Now, societal marketing includes society, that means human welfare, as well as they are focusing on companies' profit as well, plus they are focusing on consumers' want and satisfaction also. So this is about societal marketing concept. So if you are saying that some companies are investing so much amount in e-cars or e-bikes, then can it be a example of societal marketing approach? Then the answer will be yes. Or if Infosys is the company and it is, or IBM is the company, they are focusing on selling the products and services to the ultimate customers, but with that also they are doing some NGOs help and they are promoting or helping the needy people to learn. Such type of things are also there. So this can be examples of societal orientation. Now societal orientation, and another thing is just transactional orientation. Now transactional orientation versus relationship marketing orientation. So we will see first of all what do you understand by transactional orientation. Now we can see some cartoons here. In the first figure, now there is a buyer and there is a seller. They are just exchanging product, and the buyer is exchanging money to the seller. So there is just exchange of products and money. But in the second figure, that is right hand figure, we can see that is relationship or relational marketing orientation, where there is no doubt exchange of product and money, but now there is handshaking also, and they are smiling also. That means they are concerned about, the companies is concerned about the customers needs, want, and in return customers are assuring customer loyalty towards the product, towards the manufacturing company. That means left hand figure we can say that it is for short term transaction, and right hand figure we can say that it is for long term transaction. So what is transactional marketing? Transactional marketing is focusing on a single objective, and a single objective is just make a sale. Transactional marketing techniques or tactics include advertisement, promotional activities, exclusively promotional activities that gear towards the immediate sale. A sale is an on time event. This is the transactional marketing concept. According to Ginger S. The transactional marketing approach seeks to make the largest number of sales that is possible for that particular point of time. The strategies used in a business targeting customers is making one off or a point of sale transactional. Transactional marketing has the purpose of maximizing a business sales efficiently by boosting the volume of individual sales instead of developing an ongoing relationship with the consumers. The transactional marketing campaign focuses on the actual sales process for an item. The emphasis is put on making sales and may include aggressive sales promotional techniques that eventually alienate the customers. The applicable example of transactional marketing campaign is a sales presentation for a time-shared vacation home. The salesperson concentrate only on the closing the sale and getting money from the buyer. So this is about the transactional marketing orientation. Now we will move towards relationship marketing orientation. What is relationship marketing orientation? Relationship marketing is much broader concept which is for long-term goals than transactional marketing. The relationship marketing focuses on development of long-lasting relationship with the clients to secure sales for now as well as for futures also. Relationship as a focus of marketing strategies aids to understanding the consumer's needs wants, which is useful to implement the profitable exchanges. So according to Naksimha Kangnal, in her article in the Journal of Management, the marketing research role and relationship marketing, she says that knowledge and application of relationship marketing helps in achieving customer satisfaction as well as customer retention and customer acquisitions also. So, long term approach will not only help in achieving customer satisfaction, but it also will help in customer retention to achieve customer loyalty and customer acquisition also. So, for long term perspective, relationship orientation is a better thing for any organization. For relationship marketing, the most effective is it is must infiltrate every level of contact with a current and potential customer, from the sales staff to point of sales display to the customers service perspectives or representatives. Some relationship marketing strategies include the branding, customer service training, community, media relationships, social media relationship handling, development and publishing of newsletters, blogs, referral programs, and frequent buyer incentives. These marketing efforts or investments are investments in the premise of the long-term sales. The relational marketing attempts to create a relationship between the customer and the salesperson, or maybe the customer and the business, or maybe between the customer and the company as such. Because of such relationship, customers will feel a loyalty to the business and return for the future purchases. Relationship marketing is important for large purchases like purchasing a car or for purchasing a home. But pure relationship marketing runs the risk of building relationship without closing the sale also. Okay, so now we have seen the difference, but point wise we will see the difference between transactional marketing orientation and relationship marketing orientation. Now we can clearly see that there are parameters of distinguish. Number one is time orientation. So transactional marketing is short term, relationship marketing is for long term focus. Organizational goal. In transactional marketing, organizational goal is to make aggressive sell, and in relationship marketing, the organization goal is to retain customers. Customer service priority is relatively low in transactional, and it is the key component, and it is relatively high in relationship marketing. The customer contact in transactional, it is relatively low, and in relation you have to contact customers frequently. The customer commitment in transactional marketing orientation, the customer commitments are low, and in relationship marketing customer orientations are high. Self seller customer interactions. So in transactional, conflict or manipulation can be achieved or can be possible in transactional type of orientation, and in relation ship marketing, seller and consumer interactions are based on trust and cooperation. Now in transactional, sources of quality are, they are primarily focusing on production, and in relation they are focusing on company wide commitments. So this is about the difference between transactional marketing orientation and relationship marketing orientation. Now up till now we have seen seven orientation, and now we are moving towards the last company orientation, that is holistic approach or holistic marketing. Now what is holistic? Holistic means whole as such. So holistic marketing approach incorporates various marketing approaches such as integrated marketing, relationship marketing, internal marketing, and social responsibilities to build and share the brand. Traditionally, marketing mostly is related to personal selling. The idea of marketing was largely one of the managing key relationships. A marketing involved, alongside terminologies and technologies, the scope, the scale, and availability of data that has changed significantly. Today, marketing is largely about careful research, target, the market selection, and market segmentation. However, segmentation may not be the ideal form of utilizing technology and data for the marketing strategy. Holistic marketing is an idea that unifying a market based on the shared goals is better. So, commonly, you means consumers, the companies, and society, they should be integrated together for a common goal on shared goals. The holistic marketing is often considered to include four components. One is relationship marketing. So just now we have seen what is relationship marketing. It is long term relationship between customers and the buyers, customer buyers and sellers, customers and the companies. So the first component of holistic approach is relationship marketing. Then next is integrated marketing. Integrated means whatever the components of the supply chain, that means your consumers, your companies, your suppliers, all are integrated together to produce a common goal, that is, all should be in a profit. Then, internal marketing concept. Marketing concept means understanding your customer better and treating your department or interdepartment also as your marketing concept. And socially responsible marketing, so you have to produce such products and services those are not hazardous to the society at large. Through combining these four components of marketing, a holistic marketing strategy will now focus on putting forward a vision and brand that is meaningful for consumers across the entire market. So this is about holistic marketing approach, where internal marketing is there, where marketing department, senior marketing managers and other departments are working together. The entire organization is working together to produce, and they are committed to producing high quality products, low cost products, and a better quality products for understanding the need, wants and demand of the ultimate consumers. Then integrated marketing concept, which includes the communication and different distribution channels, and producing quality products and services. That means production department, wholesalers and retailers, and wholesalers, retailers, production department, consumers and suppliers, all are integrated together. Societal responsibility includes ethics, then environmental well-being, and you have to take care of the community as well as some legal formalities. Then in relationship marketing, you have to take care of the long-term relationship between the channel partners, the distribution channels, and consumers. So this is about holistic marketing orientation. Now, after this, we will see the difference between selling and marketing. Okay, so one by one we will read the difference point. Now, what is difference between marketing and selling? So this is the difference between marketing and selling. First point is marketing starts with the buyers and focuses on buyers' need. Do you agree with this? Yes, because we have seen the marketing concept and selling concept, where selling starts with the seller and focuses on seller's needs. What can be seller's needs? Seller's needs is they have given a target from the company that today you have to sell 100 quantity of this product. What seller need? Seller need to entirely sell out all those 100 products, whether the customer will like, not like, or maybe false commitment, everything that seller will adopt the various techniques, selling techniques, and he will only focus on seller's needs. So selling starts with the seller and it focuses on seller's need, but marketing concept starts with a buyer and focuses on buyer's needs, means what exactly customers want. So marketing approach will see the customers want and they will act accordingly. Now, in marketing, they convert customers' needs into products. So, first of all, they have to understand what exactly customer is needed. Then, some marketing information will be taken from the customers that we have seen in one of the function of marketing. Then, they will give that information to R&D team and they will produce products after getting information from the customers. But in selling approach, they converts products into cash. So already produced products are there in with them, and now just they want to convert those products into cash by selling those products. So now they are not focusing on what exactly customer want, and they are not producing products as per the customer requirement because the products are already produced. The next difference is in marketing approach, they view business as a customer satisfying process. Okay, so why they are doing this business? Why they have developed or started the manufacturing company or they are giving services? So all they are doing because they want to satisfy customers. After customer satisfaction, ultimately customer will buy the product and they will get money and they will get profit. But ultimate aim in marketing orientation is not, they are not focusing on ultimate target or profit, but getting profit is a byproduct. Naturally it will come if the customers are satisfied. So they are focusing and they views business. What is the business? Business is nothing but it is a customer satisfying process. This is the approach in the marketing. But in selling, they views the business as the goods producing process. What is the factory? Factories and manufacturing units are goods producing process. They are just making products. And sell team is what? Sell team is just selling the product. So these are older approach. You should not do like that. Okay. Next is consumers determine price and price determine the cost. Okay. In marketing approach, consumer determine price means whatever that is selling in the market. Now you have to customers are agree with one type of products and one type of prices. So these customers are now determining the price, and these prices are fixed in the market. Now producers and the companies will understand what customer needs and at what prices they need, and accordingly they will produce the products, and manufacturing cost also will be depend on that. So price will determine the ultimate manufacturing cost. So this is reverse. But in production, in selling type of approach, manufacturing cost will determine price. Suppose I have produced the products for 80 rupees, then this is my manufacturing cost is 80 rupees. Now I will add my 20 rupees profit. So ultimately product cost, final cost will be 100 rupees, 80 plus 20. That means I will sell that product to 100 rupees. How I have determined the 100 rupees? Because my manufacturing cost is 80 rupees plus my profits are 20 rupees. So this is how in selling approach the cost is manufacturing cost is determining price of the ultimate product. But here in marketing approach, now we will see reverse. Now consumers are not agreed with 100 rupees price. Suppose they want price for rupees 90 rupees, a product for rupees 90. Then now marketers have understood that consumer want that particular product for 90 rupees. Now they will tell their manufacturing company or manufacturing unit that you have to produce products such as we will make profit of rupees 20, so your manufacturing cost should be 70. So you have to design your product in a such a way that the total manufacturing cost will be 70 rupees. Okay, so how the price has been determined? The price has been determined by the consumers. So consumer have determined the price, and depending on that price, now manufacturing cost is there. So it is reverse way. You can say it is reverse flow, and selling is a forward flow. So this is difference between selling and marketing. Few more points are there. What is marketing? Marketing efforts to leads the products that consumers want to buy. And in selling, company produces products and then figure out efforts to sell the products. So this is the difference between those two. Now in marketing, they views customers or consumers as the first link, that is a starting point of supply chain management. Now what is supply chain management? The raw material service providers or raw material providers or suppliers are supplying products to the ultimate company. Then company are producing the products, and after production they are delivering or selling the products to the consumers through wholesalers and retailers. Okay, but in marketing approach, they view customer as the first link or starting point of the supply chain management. So raw material supplier is not the first point. Who are the first point or first link? Consumers. How consumers are the first link? Because consumers are determining the prices. Consumers are telling you what exactly product they want, which type of color they want, which type of model they want. Such type of information, entire information will be given by the customers. So customer will be the first point, and then accordingly you will analyze what exactly requirements are. Then you will give demand to your raw material suppliers that I want such type of raw material. So first point is or starting point is customers. But here in selling approach, they views customers as the last point or last link or ending point of supply chain management. Okay, then marketing approach, the primary motive of marketing is customer satisfaction. We have already seen that. And in selling, the primary motive is sales. In marketing, it is a wider concept with many functions, and selling is a subset of marketing. So there are n number of functions. We have seen the functions of marketing: gathering information, advertisement, promotional, grading, and advertisement, branding, and selling the products, getting R&D, marketing research. N number of functions are there for marketing, and selling is only a small function of marketing. So selling is just one function of marketing, and we can say that it is a subset of marketing. Few more points. Marketing. What is marketing? It is a matrix structure. And what is selling? Selling is a functional structure. So in marketing, there are two or three type of managers. Those are involved. And this matrix and the structure, matrix and functional, you will learn into organizational behavior subject. Then marketing is the conceptual and analytical skills are required, and in selling only excellent communication skills, selling skills and conversation skills are required. Okay, so you must be knowing, you must know the what exactly marketers and the consumers are need, and you should possess some marketing skills which are analytical skills. And in selling only good communication and selling skills and negotiation skills are required. In marketing, the main job is to find a right product for your customer. Okay, so if you find the right product to your ultimate customers, then you are half done. Then rest of the things will be easy for you. But in selling, the main job is to find the right customer for your product, because you want to sell that your product to your right customers. So this approach is again different. And last point is marketing. Marketing is a long term approach, and selling is a short term approach. So this is the difference between selling and marketing. Now we will move towards next part, which is called as marketing myopia. What is marketing myopia? Marketing myopia is a term used in marketing as well as title of a marketing paper written by Theodore Levitt. Marketing myopia suggests that the businesses will do better in the end if they concentrate on meeting customers' need rather than just selling products to the ultimate customers. The myopia culture, Levitt says that it would pave the way of a business to fail due to the short-sighted mindset and the illusion that a firm is in so-called growth industry. This belief lends to the compulsory of a loss of sight of what customer wants. Means we are not moving exactly to the assumed target. So what exactly customer want is different, and what we are offering is different, and we are in the company are in the psychological mind that they are satisfying the customers. And if there is a gap between what customers want and what companies are delivering, then we can say that companies are trapped into marketing myopia. We will elaborate that more. To continue growing, companies must assign and act their consumers or customers' needs and desires, not bank the preservative longevity of their product. In every case, the reason growth is threatened, slowed, or stopped is not because the market is saturated, but it is because there has been a failure of management. Example, the oil companies, which represented one of in his main example as a paper, redefined their businesses as energy rather than just a petroleum. By contrast, when the Royal Dutch Shell embarked upon the investment program in nuclear power, it failed to demonstrate a more circumstance regards for their industry. One of the reasons of this short sightedness is so common that the people feel they cannot accurately predict the future. While this is a legitimate concern, it is also possible to use a whole range of business prediction techniques currently available to estimate future circumstances best as possible. Example of marketing myopia, we can say that Kodak lost much of its share to Sony cameras when digital cameras boomed and Kodak did not plan for it. Also, we can take example of Nokia losing its market share to Android and iOS. One more example is Hollywood did not even tap the television market as it was focused only on the movies. So, this is about the concept of marketing myopia. Now, today, I'm afraid that we will stop here. Thank you so much.